most people know me as Annie, and I am a junior at the Anglo-American School of Moscow. And I'd like to clarify that we're not talking about Moscow, Idaho here, we're talking about Moscow, Russia. So I, first of all, would like to thank Teens Turning Green for this tremendous opportunity to be here with you today. And it's really humbling to make it this far in the challenge, and to be a part of the very impressive group of finalists here at Green U that you are all so inspiring and amazing. Thank you so much for just being here. So once I started the challenge, I became extremely inspired. From the moment I woke up in the morning until I hit the final send button with my submission at night, I was becoming green. I was on a fast track evolution to becoming more conscious about my life, my habits, and my surroundings. And for this, I would like to thank Judy Shills, her daughter Erin, and the entire team. You pursued your dream and you developed Teens Turning Green into an amazing program. And your inspiration also inspired me. And my path began from the encouragement of one of my teachers. And now my entire school is following my every step to the final. So I'm very thankful for that. And this is actually the longest flight that I have ever taken on my own. It is the second time I've ever flown anywhere by myself, so it just keeps getting better. So living on the other side of the world presented a different set of challenges for me. Because of the 12-hour time difference, I could only see my standings on the leaderboard after a restless sleep the next morning after I submitted my challenges. And the bigger challenge is that I live in such a different environment from here in the US. Russia, despite its massive size and incredible history, is really a developing country. And it has not come as far as the US in the areas of ecology, the environment, and conscientious living. So that was very challenging for me to complete the challenges, but it was also extremely informative and interesting. So I named this my PowerPoint Look Around You, because that is exactly what the Green Challenge made me do. It made me look at my life, my habits, and my surroundings in a much more focused way. And I can say that it was my spark of inspiration. So much needs to be done in Russia. And I look at this as an opportunity because there is so much that I can do in Russia. I realized that my personal contribution can actually have an impact on the environment, and that is what the Project Green Challenge taught me over those 30 days. Okay, I really don't know how to work this thing. As the co-president of my environmental club, I realized that it really opened my eyes. And it made me realize that we can't do everything, but we can certainly do our part, and every single individual in this room, I think, can do a part to help the environment and protect our planet. So now I'm going to tell you about how this impacted my life, my school, and my community. And first I looked at myself and my family, because my family is the closest thing I have to me, so I wanted to kind of educate them first. And I looked at what we buy and what we waste. I realized that there are greener alternatives to almost every single product on the market, from soap and cosmetics to packaging and furniture, and that was really amazing to know. And my thinking shifted in a very big way, and I realized that though products, like conventional products, conscious products, are harder to find in Russia, they do exist, and that made me so hopeful for a greener future for the country that I live in, and it made me really happy. So, speaking of products, clothes are an important part of everyone's style and image, including mine. And the Project Green Challenge made me realize that I can wear clothes that are of excellent quality, look better, use organic dyes, and are made by companies that care about their workers, and that is really important to me. And this is the shirt that I used in the Style Challenge, and I actually found it on eBay Green. And it's an excellent example. It's made of organic cotton, and it's fair trade, and it just made me really happy that products like these do exist, and it's just making the world a much more sustainable place. So a major step for me was transport. And before the Green Challenge, I had to rely on my parents to get from A to B. And believe me, traffic congestion in Moscow can be terrible. But now I can proudly say that after the Project Green Challenge, I take the local tram and the subway, which is a very big step to me because, to be honest, I kind of have a fear of big cities. So to take public transport was definitely a large step. And some of the subway stations I realized are real architectural masterpieces, so it was so inspiring for me to walk around in these places and to look and to see all these beautiful things. I never realized that a subway could look so beautiful. But the only problem was that with 20 million people in Moscow, I had to be cautious of security, so this really helped me grow as an individual. And one of my favorite topics is food, and Russians have a great tradition of growing their own food. And my grandma has her own garden, which we call her own summer house, which I spend every summer in, called a dacha. And she has her own beautiful garden that has things from potatoes and lettuce to raspberries and pumpkins. And, oh, that skipped a lot. And this tradition passed on to my mother, and all our best meals are now home cooked. I've convinced her that she needs to start cooking every meal. And I help her with that a lot. She's been teaching me how to cook because before the challenge I could not cook to save my life. So, basically I learned that organic food tastes better, it's healthier, and thank goodness for Grandma, who I call Babushka, and her garden. And right now, after the one of the food challenges, I've been growing organic carrots on my windowsill. So you are all invited for an organic meal in Russia from Babushka's garden. So there's a lot of waste and disregard for the environment in Russia. And people just throw their wrappers on the ground and expect someone else to pick them up. And this is the road on the way to my school, and I saw this and I was just appalled. I mean, this is not acceptable, in my opinion. So I went with my dad the next day, and we kind of started picking trash up from the road, and that's my compound right there at the back, that like little cabin. So we just started picking up. We picked up as much as we could, but I mean, it just made me feel a lot better to walk across a clean road to school. And I believe that people can and should be more conscious of the waste that they produce. So I would now like to talk about how the Green Challenge affected my life and my school, my community. So I have been going to a local orphanage and reading stories to the kids. And to see the looks on their faces when I was there and just to feel them gathered around me, it just, like I would go home and start crying because I was so overwhelmed. I mean, they don't have a family, and for me to go and to be able to read stories to them was really inspiring and amazing. And also, I have a personal love for animals, and the Green Challenge, in the middle of October, I began to visit a dog shelter. Now I've been doing this every week or every 2 weeks. We are trying to plan regular visits. And there are over 500 dogs at the shelter. And I have been cleaning the area with a group of people, feeding them and playing with them. And my favorite one is Simba, who only has 3 paws, but he is the most loving and caring dog, and we love to see each other. He is just so much fun. Okay. So I realized the critical role of education in that we need to change people's mindsets about the environment and what they plant, how they we need to make people understand the impact that they have. And people, every single person in this room has a serious impact on the environment, whether it be negative or positive. All of you I know have a positive impact, but there are people that do not. And the more people we educate, the greater impact we can have. And I am focusing my efforts on educating people. And it all starts with the individual. These are just pictures from recycling bins around our school. They just need to look around themselves. And we have started posting facts on our television screens around the school, which is a large step. And Meatless Monday, I am going to be presenting to the cafeteria management in January. I'm trying really hard to get Meatless Monday to work in my school because I think it's a great idea. And I've been also discussing with Russian and English schools around Moscow to try and have a big environmental symposium where we will discuss issues, kind of like the Model United Nations format, because I think that it's really interesting when you can talk to people your age about pressing issues that you're interested in. And we've been holding environmental socials for the elementary school because I think it's important to start at an early age. And as I am on the board of the school newspaper, I have started writing more articles related to sustainability and healthy food because I think that people would actually be interested to read about these kinds of things. So overall, I mean, there is so much that can be done, and I am only beginning. So, I mean, for me, this is not about the prizes or my place on the leaderboard. For me, the most important thing here is kind of learning. And I believe that I was a winner every single time that the challenges changed my view on the environment and on how I can become more sustainable. And right now, everyone's talking about this fiscal cliff, but I think we should be talking about the eco cliff, because saving the planet requires much more immediate attention, in my opinion. So overall, the speakers that we listened to yesterday were just nothing short of awesome. It inspired me so much. I did not realize that I could learn so much. So thank you so much, Judy, Aaron, just everyone in this room that I have gotten the amazing opportunity to talk to over these past few days. You have inspired me and made me just realize what an impact I can have. So now all I ask is that you just take a moment in your lives and look around you and think about how you can have a better impact on your life, the lives of others around you, and just try to make this planet a better place together. Thank you so much.